February is now over, which means it's now time to rank all the new movies I watched in February. I watched 10 new movies, and let me just tell you, it was a doozy. I swear, February was worse than January this year, which is kind of unheard of. Usually, January is the worst movie month of the year, but February this year was the worst movie month of the year. I don't know if you agree with me, but just looking at these movies that I watched this month, I can hardly remember that much about any of them except some of the good ones. So this is probably going to be a pretty short ranking because I don't really have a lot to say about them. If I do have a lot to say, it's mostly going to be bad. So have fun, get some popcorn to enjoy this video. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like. Helps it a lot. But let's get right to the tier list. All right, first up on our tier list is Land of Bad. This is the newest kind of action movie from like an unknown studio. I can't even tell you the studio's name. This one stars Liam Hemsworth in it. And honestly, I was going into this movie thinking it was going to be a dumpster fire action film, but it wasn't that bad. I did watch it on digital. I didn't have a chance to go see it in theaters, but it wasn't that bad. I kind of do recommend this to anyone. I feel like a lot of older audiences will like this. A lot of dads will like this because it, just takes place, people are just shooting people. It's kind of like one of those films. Liam Hemsworth, I think he's a pretty good lead in this. I think it's about I think it's about an hour and 46, and it kind of flies by. I didn't really feel the runtime here. The action scenes in here were actually pretty decent. Liam Hemsworth, I feel like he doesn't get as much work as he should because I think he's excellent. I wouldn't say he's as good as, his brother, but, I would say that he deserves a lot more work, a lot more big budget work. I don't know if this movie probably doesn't have a huge budget, probably like, $20 million at most, I would say. But yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not anything great. I'd still put it in the good tier. Next up, we got Argylle. This is a terrible movie, I'll say that. Argylle made me just want to rethink my life while watching it because I saw an IMAX. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I liked the trailer. I thought there was going to be more Dua Lipa, to be honest with you. But, oh my goodness, this movie it almost just made me leave. Like, I was just face palming, like, every twist and turn that this movie made. Like, it made, like, 5 different twists and turns. I mean, if you like this movie, fine, you can like it, but I just did not like it at all. There's just way too much happening. It doesn't feel like a Matthew Vaughn movie. It feels just like a straight up Netflix $200 million budget movie. I know this did have a $200 million budget, but this is produced by Apple, and so I was just blown away by how stupid this is. Like once one of the main characters started ice skating on like concrete or steel floor, I was like, nah, 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 nah. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this stupid stuff because it's so dumb. I was like, what is going on here? And Bryce Dallas Howard, as much as I like her as an actress, I don't feel like she's a leading lady yet. Sam Rockwell kind of carried the film for me. I thought he was hilarious and, he does great and everything, but he wasn't enough to save the movie. So Argylle, I'm putting in the terrible tier. Next up is Suncoast. This is Nico Parker's main movie. This is like her first leading role, I would say. I don't know if she's led anything else major because I only remember seeing her in The Last of Us, the first episode. And honestly, she gave a really good performance here. This is a new coming of age story, and I really did like Laura Linney is also in this. I really did like her performance in here. It's not a great film. It doesn't reach those great heights that I really wanted to because it does explore some very sad subjects, but it doesn't really go in more, it doesn't really go deep into that school world where I like coming of age stories to go, especially like Edge of 17. So this one, it needed a little bit more stuffing in it, I would say. It was missing a little bit of substance, but I think Nico Parker gave a great performance, and I cannot wait to see what she does in How to Train Your Dragon. I know a lot of people are hating on her casting, but those are just haters out there. But I cannot wait to see what she does in How to Train Your Dragon because I thought she was great in The Last of Us. I think she was great in this movie, even though this movie needed a little bit more. But I thought she had a great performance. So I'm gonna put Suncoast is going in the okay tier, and yeah, Land of Bad is still in the good tier. It's gonna be bottom of the good tier though. Next up is Lisa Frankenstein. This is probably gonna be, I'll say this is the best movie of the month. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not hard to be the best movie of the month though. But yeah, I really did enjoy Lisa Frankenstein. I saw it at the Regal Mystery Movie, so I saw it a little bit early, and I really liked Catherine Newton in this. Catherine Newton I was a little worried about after Quantumania because her performance there wasn't great, but I feel like that was just the script and how Peyton Reed was telling her how to act because her Cassie is just very annoying in that movie. But Catherine Newton is great here. She's just playing such a great role here, and she's great in every other thing that she plays, just like this. Freaky, she was great in that. So I feel like it's just the script in Cassie as a character that's not doing her justice in her range. And I really did love the design of this film. It feels like, Edward Scissorhands. I love the costumes in here that Catherine Newton gets to play around with. Cole Sprouse is great as just, the corpse. He gets to speak a little bit in the end, but I feel like he's great as just the reanimated corpse just walking around making these facial expressions. It's a pretty short movie too, an hour and a half, hour 45, runs right along. I know a lot of other people aren't going to enjoy it as much as I did, but I had a fun time with it. It takes its PG-13 rating pretty far, actually. I was surprised it wasn't rated R because how far it takes the PG-13 rating, and it's pretty funny too. I mean, it's just a fun time. And I know I said it wasn't hard to be, the best movie of the year, but this movie actually did try, and I think it's actually really good. So Lisa Frankenstein, I'm going to put it at the top of the good tier. Next up is Bob Marley, One Love. I'm kind of coming at this, I will say, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm just saying I'm not the biggest Bob Marley fan, so that's probably why I didn't enjoy this film as much as others, because I'm seeing a lot of people enjoy this film a decent bit. I thought it was just a little bit boring for me. Just saying, I mean, I did enjoy the musical scenes, musical elements, the concert moments, but there wasn't enough of that for me to really love the movie as much as some other people are. I mean, learning about Bob Marley's story and all that, and his toe and his cancer and all that was kind of interesting. Lashana Lynch and Kingsley Benadir both gave excellent performances. I loved them a lot, but that's not enough to carry the film for me. I just wish there was a lot more substance here, a lot more musical scenes. I feel like that would have added a lot more care to this movie. But I know that the Bob Marley family was involved in this movie, so I can give them that. But I'm just not the biggest Bob Marley fan, so that's probably why I didn't like it as much as others. But I'll still put it in the okay tier. Next up is Players. This is another, Netflix rom-com, and I didn't care for it. It's you gotta understand when it comes to rom-coms, only a certain few work for me. I feel like this one's gonna work for a lot of moms and all that, a lot of younger girls. But if a rom-com's got to be very special for it to work for me. I just watched this one on Netflix that just got on Netflix. It's not a new movie, but Netflix just acquired it. It's called Plus One with Jack Quaid. That one's great. I thought that one was really great. I love what they were doing with that one. So if you want if you want a rom-com to watch on Netflix, watch Plus One. Do not watch Players. Players isn't great. It's pretty. I felt pretty long. It's like 2 hours for rom-com. That's pretty long. So I'm gonna put Players in the bad tier. Next up is Driveway Dolls. I decided not to review this movie on the channel. I was going to because I like the trailer so much, but I just got out of the movie yesterday and I was just not feeling it. I didn't like this movie. I really wanted to like this movie a lot because I went in just so excited to go watch it, but I did not like what Ethan Coen was doing here. I feel like the Coen brothers need to get back together and make a movie together because Ethan Coen, I mean, I can say he's good, but this movie isn't good. And the editing in here is atrocious. Like, if you go see this, if you like the movie, it's cool. But you cannot say that the editing is good. The editing looks like it was done by like a middle schooler. I'm not trying to be like rude here, but the editing is just so bad, and the production design doesn't feel like it has any life to it. The movie tries to be really funny, but all the funny parts are in the trailer. And I did not like our two main leads of the film. I thought, the actresses are good, but the characters are just so unlikable here. So I didn't. I mean, some people do like it. My friend I went to the movie with did like it a lot. I just didn't care for it. I thought it was kind of just annoying, more to be honest, and it was too quirky for me. I didn't know what they were going for. So Driveway Dolls going in the bad tier. Next up, we got Orion and the Dark. I don't even know if that's the right way to say this movie, but this one was all right. This is another Netflix original this month, and this is more for the kids. So if you have kids, I feel like if you throw this on for them, they'll like it. It's not a lot of stuff that I'll remember from the film. I do like the animation style a lot. I love the voice acting a lot, but it's just one of those that just leaves my brain about 2 weeks after I watched it. But it's still, it's fine. Next up, we got Upgraded. This is the second rom-com of the month. This one's from Amazon Prime Video. And, this one is a little bit better than Players, but it still doesn't reinvent the genre that much. I felt like this one was also a little too long. I like the first half a lot. The second half, I didn't really care for. And, the two leads in here were actually pretty good. I like them a lot. Camila Mendes, I thought she was the best part of the movie, though. She easily gives a great performance in anything that she's in, especially Riverdale, which Riverdale went off the edge a long time ago. But upgraded, it's a little bit better than Players, but not anything to write home about. So it's going in the okay tier. Last one on our list is Madam Web. We saved the best for last around here, it seems. Madam Web, it's a movie that is just a terrible movie. Let's just say that. Yeah, Madam Web is one of the worst superhero movies that I've ever seen, and it's the worst movie of the year so far. Like, I don't even know how to, explain this without going into a 12-minute conversation on why I hated the film. It's worse than Morbius, I'll say that. The writing is just atrocious, and, the performances are just so bland because I think the script is so bland. The villain whenever the villain's on screen, you hear him talking, it seems like it's ADR for every single scene. I didn't know what was going on. And the whole entire movie was basically a Pepsi ad. So if you love Pepsi, I mean, you might just love the movie. Like, I don't really know. But yeah, it's such a nothing movie. The Sony Spider-Verse will never, it'll never be great. The only great movies will be the Spider-Man movies. I don't understand what they're doing here, but I don't have time to talk about this movie for that much longer. So I'm just going to put Madam Web in the terrible tier. As you see, February, the worst month of the year. No great movies, no amazing movies for me personally. Let me know down in the comments if you had any great movies or rank your movies that you saw. But let's rank all 10 of these. Terrible tier, it's going to line up just like that. Madam Web is worse than Argylle. Argylle I'd watch one more time, but I still try to gouge my eyes out while I do it. The bad tier, I'd probably put Drive Away Dolls above Players just by a little, but I still wouldn't care to rewatch any of them. The okay tier, I would actually leave it like this. Orion and the Dark is a little bit better than Bob Marley, and Upgrade's the worst. Suncoast is actually pretty damn good. The good tier, Lisa Frankenstein, I'll leave over Land of Bad because I really just enjoyed the performance a lot. I think it's a very funny movie. Land of Bad has a lot of good action moments, but it's not one that I would really go back to a lot more. I think Lisa Frankenstein is easily the best movie of the month and the one I'd go back to the most. So that is my ranking of all the new movies I saw in February 2024. What an interesting month, but we got March. March is coming up, creeping up very soon, a couple days. I will say my video for what's coming out that month is coming up very soon, and it's going to be a very great month. I will let you know it's going to be a great month. I cannot wait. But let me know what movies did you see in February. Rank them down below in the comments. Make sure you leave a like if you did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.